Hey, I'm Dale. Welcome to the JeepSolid Garage. In this video today, we are going to try to start this engine. We got a lot of work to do. Let's get to it. In my last video, we got a lot of the lines done, the thermostat, a lot of details done. Have you ever seen a cute little exhaust manifold gasket like this? This is a 4-piece setup. Now I've got a plan to hook up the radiator and heater core because I have to have coolant to this whole thing before we can start it up. Still got to put oil in it, spark plugs, some wiring, all that kind of stuff. But we are getting close, which is exciting. And I got more of the frame cleaned up and coated. Last video I had just the center section done. Now I got the whole front half done, so that's looking really good. And got the belt on and tightened. While we're at it, we got some shiny new spark plugs here. These are supposed to be gapped at 30. And grab my spectacles. So I swear they're making the writing on these things smaller and smaller. And as I get close to starting this thing, I mean, it's super exciting, but honestly also makes me a little nervous because the last, 2 engines I've built, when I went to the exciting step of first start, it didn't go super swell. First time, the trouble, I think I had a bad ground, which just ruined everything, but it delayed the first start. And then my second first start attempt, I think there was like some bad sensors, one of which was like the neutral safety switch, and if your car, if the neutral safety switch is off, then it ain't gonna start. So fingers crossed that this one goes well. And with that, my microphone died. It's one of the struggles of making YouTube videos. Sometimes you have technical difficulties, but didn't miss a whole lot in this. I was just working on the new oil filter that I got. But initially this oil filter would not slide in. So I put a little bit of oil on the gasket. And once I did that, I was able to pound it in place and get the oil filter in there. So that's all set up and ready to go. So we're moving on, keeping things moving. We got the distributor cap here. This says top. Just making sure I'm getting it oriented in the same direction as what it came off. If you guys remember back to when I first took this off, the pattern on it was a little bit different than what I was expecting. I did find one spot in my book where it did kind of refer to it like this was correct, but I'm gonna put it back in the same order because it worked before. So I think if I put it back in the same order, it should work again. And I have to say, I'm not super used to working on little 4-cylinder engines like this. It seems super easy, like just simple. Like there's not a lot of wiring going on here. So that all looks really good. Next up is the radiator and heater core. I'm just gonna figure out a way to kind of temporarily mount this so that it's stable, and I got a way to cool my engine. And we gotta figure out the heater core as well. Well, Kiwi's getting some new shoes. How do you do that when your ECU is out? You load them into Sully and take them down to the tire shop. Hey, we're back! I know to you guys it seems like it was just the last clip, but honestly for me, it's been a couple weeks. Life's just been busy. Got a couple of camping trips in, that was a lot of fun. Just a nice break, get away from everything, reset. I've kind of forgotten where I'm at. Did I show you guys? I got the radiator hooked up, the hoses, all that. Heater core, the hoses for that. I think I've already showed you spark plug wires and spark plugs and that stuff, but right now we are filling up with coolant. We're getting close. So I'm just topping off with coolant here, and yeah, you gotta use a special coolant. This is green. Yeah, it has to be a green, like designed for older. You can't use just anything green on this. Also, you like my little overflow reservoir here? Coolant is topped off. Let's double check the oil plug, because I don't think it's tight. This plug is like 1.125", and I do not have the correct wrench. Did you know that this does not take conventional motor oil? Of course, anytime you're working on a new engine, you're going to research the oil that it takes, especially if you're breaking in new parts on your engine. It actually takes diesel oil. Engine oil, heavy duty diesel, 1540. Huh, go figure. And one of the reasons you can't use conventional motor oil is because of the detergents. You can't run this engine with modern oil detergents that they use. So here we go with some diesel engine oil. It's going to take most all of this. Now, according to this doogjobber, we are halfway between the full and empty, but I'm going to top it off to the very top of full because our filter is dry at this point. I could take this off, add a little oil there, but I'm just going to overfill it. Well, not overfill it, but just make meh. On second thought, I'm going to go ahead and add a little oil to the filter, which is probably the right thing to do. Oil and coolant, check. So next up is going to be electrical. Just got to figure out what all I need to hook up just to get it running. All right, we got battery is going to go to ground, and then positive to starter solenoid to the back of the alternator, and then I've got this that plugs into the alternator, and that goes to the back of the starter solenoid. But on the other side of the alternator, I got this gray wire. Where does this go? So that just comes up to this spaghetti of wires up here, and it looks like it just goes to the gauge. So I don't think I need this gray one. Alrighty, I think I've got the wiring figured out. So we've got our battery positive going to the starter solenoid over to the alternator in 2 different spots. The coil has to also be hooked up to the battery positive, but I can't do that until I'm ready to start it because you'll fry your points on your distributor if you hook it up too early. I was just double checking the transmission because I want to make 100% sure that it's in neutral, and boy, I'm glad I did because I don't think it was. I had to move the gears a little bit, so I think that's in gear and that's in gear. That's neutral. So glad I did that. And I think this sleeve is in neutral as well. Now with those things done, I can fairly easily move the engine and we aren't going anywhere. Because boy, wouldn't that be exciting. Jumpstart the starter solenoid, lunges forward, into my living room. Okay, I think we are ready to go. I got my wiring all hooked up. We got oil, we have coolant, and then the mechanical fuel pump. Because it's mechanical, they're really good at pushing fluid, but they're not good at sucking fluid. So we have our gas can elevated. And I've got some starting fluid because our fuel line is completely dry, right? So it's not gonna have fuel right away. I always get super nervous, well not super nervous, but nervous before I start an engine like this because like so much work has gone into it. The fire department's on the way already, I guess, in case I start a fire. Just kidding. But I always get so nervous because like I put all this work into it and I've run into that where it's just like just nothing. I'm like, oh, such a letdown. So I'm nervous. Here we go. Oh. Time out. I just shorted my wire against the frame there. This is my ignition bypass wire, and also how I'm going to kill the engine. I'm making sparks here. That's good, but not good. All right. All right, we're hot. Hopefully it's in neutral. Oh, turns over. I think it needs fuel. Oh, awesome. What if my battery's not strong enough? It runs and it sounds great! Yes! Oh. I just need to start sucking fuel. All right, we're gonna kill this. Okay, that's awesome though. It runs, it sounds great. I don't think it's sucking fuel quite yet because my fuel filter, everything's completely dry. I'm running low on starter fluid, so, but that sounds great. That's exciting. Woohoo! All right, we're gonna try again. I really wanna get fuel going to it so it'll run on its own without me spraying starter fluid. I think we can get there. Where's my screwdriver? Where's my jump start screwdriver? Oh, here it is. Okay, here we go. Take two. I'm running low on starter fluid. Come on, there we go. I heard something rattle in the transmission. Makes me nervous. I don't want it to catch gear and then So I'm gonna pause right here. Let me disconnect my, don't want to burn up my points. It's not getting fuel. Running out of starting fluid. Well, that's it for now, because I think I'm about bone dry on the starting fluid. But overall, I'm super happy that it runs as long as I'm spraying starting fluid in there. Still not sure if maybe my fuel system isn't primed yet. I gotta get another can of starting fluid so I can just run it a little bit longer, give that fuel pump a chance to prime. Hopefully that's the issue and I'm not having a carburetor issue, but it sounds really good when it was running, when I was spraying the starting fluid in there. I don't know if the camera, the microphone could pick that up, but the engine sounded really good, so that is awesome. Thank you guys so much. Super excited about this progress, and I'll catch you in the next video. And yes, I could just dribble a little bit of gas in the carburetor and do it that way, and I'm ready to go, but I really like the controlled atmosphere of having the starter fluid just, because I can really regulate how much I'm giving, where pouring gas, I don't know, when I see fires, like people doing first engine starts and all that, and they catch fire, it's always when they're pouring gas. So I like the controlled in a can. It's just my preference.